Earlier this year, Vaadin was excited to release Vaadin Copilot, our first AI coding assistant designed to make you more productive through your IDE as well as through the browser itself. While the original version was optimized for Hilla, our React-based framework, our recent release has enhanced it where it also includes Flow views, Flow being our very popular 100% Java-based framework. In this video, we'll look at 5 cool things you can do with Vaadin Copilot and Vaadin Flow. For the best experience with Copilot, you'll want to run your application in debug mode with Hot Swap Agent. This will be available for you when you install the Vaadin plugin to your IDE. With my application running in debug mode, to activate Copilot, we'll simply click on the icon here at the bottom right. Or we can use the shortcut of Shift and Command twice to activate as well as deactivate. So for the first feature, let's talk about the ability to see just how the Vaadin components you've coded are showing up in the browser. So with Copilot activated, if I hover over the left panel, at the top we get an outline, which is literally an outline of all the components you used in that particular view. Let's look at this form layout, which is one of the Vaadin components, and we see within it we're using 3 text fields and 2 passwords fields. We can then go from this outline in the panel to the browser view itself and see that visually represented. And we can go from there and see and confirm the code in our IDE. This is very helpful when you're brand new to a code base and trying to understand just how things have been put together. Speaking of web components, wouldn't it be nice when you're coding your UI to be able to go to your browser, quickly add a few components and widgets via some sort of drag and drop mechanism, and then be able to immediately go back and code in your IDE as normal? Vaadin Copilot offers you just that ability. So for instance, here we have a grid of employees with name, email, and phone, but there's no heading. We definitely need a heading. So let's just hover over our left panel, go into the content menu, and in this case I'm grabbing H3. We'll drag and drop it to this green highlighted area. Give it just a moment to update. Add the text, employees, and that has been added. But it's not only added in the browser, we also see it's been added to the code right here. As convenient as that drag and drop mechanism is, I think we can push our Copilot a little further. For instance, in this form down here, which has name, username, and password, what if we wanted to add an additional field, like an address field? Well, let's just tell Copilot to do that. I'm going to use the shortcut Shift Space, and in this prompt command, I'm going to simply tell it in the form, add an address field. It's going to show us a few checks with validation and embedding the context. The files have now been updated, and if we escape out of that, we see the address field has been added, and we can go to our code in our IDE, see that it's been added there as well. And again, we're not locked out of the IDE. We can immediately go coding anything else that we want to as normal. I've had the question asked before, does our AI assistant help with testing in any way? Absolutely. So with this current view, making sure our Copilot is activated, let's just hover over the right panel, which gives us a wide variety of options. I'm going to go into the UI test generation, generate tests for the current view, give it just a few moments to run, and as you see here, it generates Playwright UI tests for the current Flow or Hilla view. Of course, we're using Flow in this case. It'll take just a few minutes to go through and scan all of our different components and all of the fields. And as you see here as well, it tells us that the test may not compile without intervention. So rerunning the tool will overwrite any previous tests. It says it's generated the test file flowformit.java. So let's just go and check that out real quick in our IDE. And we'll open up our file structure here. Go into our test menu. And there it is. We have a test that's been generated. You see there's a setup here utilizing the Playwright testing class and testing all the elements in our UI. For the 5th feature, let's talk about internationalization, which along with localization is a hot topic among web developers who are interested in making sure their web apps can be read in a variety of languages. The Vaadin platform comes with internal tooling to help you manage that process. One easy way to access that tooling is through Vaadin Copilot. Going back to our application, if we want to activate the internationalization feature, we'll simply scroll over and get this right panel, scroll down to the internationalization dropdown, and click on Find All Static Strings. This will generate a scan to find all the strings that can be translated. It will create an extracted text as well as translation key for both of those and add them to a translation properties file. So scrolling down, we're going to just leave all these defaults and click on Apply. Looks like it found 7 properties. And here's the translation properties file that we're expecting. And we should be able to go to our flow form and find the translate method added to those strings, such as right here. And we'll just make that a little bigger for you. We see the translate method being used on these text fields. These are just some of the features that I'm truly excited about with our new Vaadin Copilot product. I'll leave a link down below so you can get started using Copilot today. And as always, we'd love to hear your feedback about how you're using the software.